So about this time last year I fitted this DRO to my mill, and I've been struggling with this cheap Chinese wiggler to do edge finding. I've seen other YouTubers using the cylindrical type center finders, and I wanted to know what the difference was, or whether one was easier to use, whether one's better than the other. So I thought I'd make one. So let's do that now. This I originally saw on Joe Pieczynski. He made a edge finder with a fairly basic setup of a couple of bolts, a bit of bar, and the extension spring. Now he did it on the mill to show that you can do turning on the mill. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to use my lathe. I'm going to try using this stainless tube that I've got. It's about 1/2 inch diameter and about 1.6mm wall. I don't know how well that's going to work, because obviously the sliding faces need to slide against each other. This is almost certainly, I can't remember, I think it's 316. It's not magnetic at all, so it's very stainless. So let's put this in the lathe and let's make a edge finder. Right, because this is tube material, I'm going to have to turn the outer diameter as well, because tubes are never round. It's not seamless tube, it's ERW, so it's got a seam which might present a bit of a hard spot. So first off, I'm going to turn the length of it, which I'm going to make about 75mm, 3 inches, and just see what sort of surface finish we can get. If I can't get a good surface finish, I will change to a different material. Oh. Engineer's eye. It's a WNMG insert for hard materials. It's got a reasonably large nose radius, so it should give a good surface finish. I'm going to put some of this green, what was green, it's now sort of brown, gunk on it, which is probably way too much. Good for cutting hard materials like stainless and so on. Yuck. I think I might start that slowly. Part it off. Horrible. Then. Go. Right, so we've got our mating faces that are supposed to run next to each other. However, they're a little bit rough. So I'm just going to gently wipe them on the diamond stone, just to take off any rough bits. That's better. Right, so this is the scary bit. I've got a 2mm carbide PCB drill here, which ideally wants to be going at probably 10,000 RPM. My mill can do 2,500, but we'll just go carefully. I might be through. There we are, we're through. Right, so I found this bolt was a bit on the long side, so I've taken 10mm off, so I get a bit more extension on the spring. Goes in there. Pull that out. And at the same time, one of these in position. So, drop that on. Get this one hooked on. There we go. That's better. And we've got a wiggler. Let's see how well it works. Right, this is my 2040-60 or 2040-80, in fact, 123 block, and it mics out at exactly 20mm across there. So we'll see what sort of reading we can get with the DRO and the wiggler. Right, so my understanding of these things is that you set them off centre, you start them spinning, and you drive it up to the work, whether it's one of these or one of these, it doesn't really matter, until it gets running perfectly true, and then suddenly it'll kick out. And at that point, that's when you set your 0. Now, part of me thinks that, in theory, the point just before it kicks out must be the 0 point. But I suppose it's very hard to know where that point is before it happens, and going back to it, you're going to lose accuracy. So it must be close enough. So the other thing is, normally with these, you find one side of an object, you then find the other, and then you use the half function on the DRO to tell you where the center of it is, because that's usually what you're looking for. I mean, sometimes you're finding an edge, so you can come off an edge, but with a lot of things, it's probably more accurate to find two edges and then find the center and then work from there as you datum. Now, I found it very difficult to know whether this wiggler is in the right place or not. The little bit of video you're about to see, I test both of these and I get a much worse result with this one. Now, if I'm doing something wrong, please let me know, but I'm fairly sure it's to do with the quality of this, or lack thereof. But I was equally surprised about how accurately I could find the edge using the one that I just made. Anyway, let's have a look. So I take 0 there, so we're gonna minus 12.499, enter. Yeah, 19.998. Much better. 6mm. Should be 2.54. I would have thought. It's supposed to be 0.1 inch. Come on. It's a little bit over. 2.56 we'll call it. Alright, let's try zeroing that again. 2.55. We'll go to the other side. Just over 20. And we should, if we get it to very close, it should. Yeah, it's just started to move. 19775. 0.3 of a millimetre off. Terrible. So from that little experiment, it looks like the cylindrical edge finder seems to be a lot more accurate than the wiggler at finding the edges. I think there's probably run out in the wiggler set. Obviously, because that was all made on the lathe, maybe it doesn't run out as much, but I still think there's probably run out in the collet chuck. So I'm not entirely sure how that's come up with such good numbers, but it has, so that's nice. If you've got a wiggler and it works well, you know, let me know. Am I doing something wrong? But if you've got a crappy one, make one of these. Thanks for watching.